You know that song and how it goes? Life could be a dream, eh? This feels like a dream, because today we are talking about the Vancouver Canucks and two different ideas that sort of link together in an interesting way. We're talking about the team and its right-handed defenseman core. We're talking about who's on it and who's not, who could be gone and who could be brought in, and it all starts with our favorite chaos draft, Tyler Myers. Now, I have been very vocal in these video titles and in these videos themselves that Tyler Myers has been by far the worst player on the Vancouver Canucks this season. The team's been good. They've been winning games, we've seen good performances from guys that we want to see good performances out of, but the one lowlight of the season has been Tyler Myers' consistently terrible play. As a result, he's been given lower ice time, he has been really not utilized, and it seems like every pairing that he is on seems to make the partner he is with worse. Just take a look at all the ice times that the Canucks end up giving out to their defensemen. Let's go over to the recent game against the Predators and see where exactly the numbers are. Oh, it doesn't show on Google. We're going to have to go to NHL.com. Yeah, so take a look at the defenders and their ice times here. Tyler Myers had 13 minutes of time on ice in this game. Mark Friedman had 15. And all you gotta remember is that Mark Friedman was in the AHL just a little bit ago. Not to mention Carson Soucy, Myers' line mate, had 14 minutes. He looked pretty bad when playing with Myers. Hronek, Hughes, Ian Cole each had over 23 minutes, and Hronek and Hughes, I mean, these guys had 27 and 25 minutes of time on ice per game. This pattern has been persisting the past little while. The Canucks coaching staff knows that Myers has been bad. He's been taking dumb penalties, he's been making dumb plays, and because of everything that has gone on, we have articles like this being published on the Canuck Way, the Vancouver Canucks version of Fansided. Take a look at this piece made by Jonathan Bailey. The Canucks should just put Tyler Myers on waivers already. Now, this is just one article out of many discussions that fans have been having about this player. He's got modified no-trade protection, which means that he's able to get sent down on waivers. He's able to go to Abbotsford. He's just not really able to get traded to any team in the NHL. There are only certain teams that he'd be allowed to get moved to. Myers is on the last year of his $6 million AAV deal, that in which was signed back in 2019 and became an instant meme upon its accomplishment. And here's the thing. When it comes to the idea of sending Myers down, while he plays bad enough where you could justifiably say, yeah, it's probably a better move to send him down and keep him in the A, the problem is, the Vancouver Canucks don't really have too many guys that could realistically come in and play those minutes. Like, go over to Abbotsford and see whom the Canucks have on their right-handed D-core. Jet Wu, is that guy ready for an 82 NHL game season? I probably wouldn't say so. Cole McWard looked pretty good in the preseason and in the limited stint he had last year, but is that guy ready to take on a full-time NHL role? I'm not really too sure. Christian Willander is doing pretty good things, but he is a left-handed guy, so there isn't really the need there on that spot. This could all be solved so easily if any of these lefties could actually play the right side and have meaningful minutes in that position. You have other guys available to you. Remember the Canucks signed Matt Irwin to a contract? He was playing 60-something games with Washington last year. This would be so fixable if any of these left-handed guys could just move over to the right, but positional NHL defending normally requires guys who are right-handed to be on the right side and left-handed guys to be on the left side. It's rare to see the anomalies who can play on both. And so even though Myers has been this bad, I just don't know how confident I am, or how confident the Canucks would be, that any of their extra defenders in the AHL or who else is in the press box could step in and fill in those minutes. Admittedly, they're not big minutes. I mean, Myers getting played 13 minutes of time on ice in a game is not the be-all and end-all, but there is a certain level of security that does exist within his game that does not exist in other younger guys and their profiles. As bad as Tyler Myers is, as terrible of a decision-maker that he is, as terrible of a line mate as he is, this guy's already a lost cause. He's not going to get any better. And I say that tongue-in-cheekily knowing that he's going to go to the Florida Panthers next year and he's going to become great, like Oliver Ekman-Larsson is all of a sudden. But all the other guys the Canucks have, on left side or on right, I'm not too sure if they'd be able to do much better. Which sucks, but this is where we talk about extenuating ideas, because yesterday on Donnie and Dolly, you had Rick Dhaliwal talking about Calgary Flames defender Chris Tanev, and how he has heard that there are contract negotiation discussions still going on. The Flames want to bring him back, but Dhaliwal goes out there and says in the clip, that which will be linked in the description alongside of that Canuck Way article on Tyler Myers, Dhaliwal says that if Tanev ends up going to free agency, he wonders whether or not there would be interest in Vancouver, and that is a very, very big if. That's not saying that Tanev is definitively coming back to Van, it's just tossing an idea out there. And this is one of the things where after Donnie and Dolly posted about it on Twitter, if Chris Tanev is available July 1st, should the Canucks be interested, you had 55% of Canucks fan voters saying yes, you had so many people replying and quote tweeting this saying yes, this is the type of guy that the Vancouver Canucks could absolutely benefit from. He is that guy. He's him. Chris Tanev, the past few years, has been noted as one of the best shutdown defenders in the entire NHL. He can block shots, he can defend positionally, he hustles, he works hard. This is a guy that was a fan favorite in Vancouver for so long, but who just was never able to get that full 82-game season in Vancouver because he was always blocking shots and getting hurt. The thing is, in Calgary, he's actually been a lot more healthy the past few years. Sure, he's still blocking shots, he's still doing the things that make Chris Tanev a valuable defenseman, but he's not getting hurt as much. He had an 82-game season a few years ago, and that was the first one he had ever had. So for Chris Tanev, if you assume that he knows how to play NHL caliber hockey without consistently getting hurt again, and if you assume that at 34 years old, he's the type of guy that's going to be aging gracefully as he gets older, this could be a very valuable pickup. Now, for Tanev, he doesn't need to be the super active, super flashy, super mobile type of guy like Quinn Hughes is, for example. Tanev just has to sit back, relax, let the shots come to him, defend with his mind, defend with his positioning. And if he's able to keep his conditioning at the very least up to speed, this could be like a much better version of Alex Edler, like the Canucks had in the past few years. It's just Edler had a different offensive touch. There was still priority to put him on the power play, etc., especially towards the end of the Sedin years. But Chris Tanev coming over to Vancouver could be an instant upgrade over Tyler Myers, and if you have yourselves that pairing of Hughes-Hronek and have Tanev with Soucy as a second pair, that could be so gosh darn effective at being a defensive shutdown line. Have yourselves everybody else playing there. Have Ian Cole, have Mark Friedman for crying out loud in the bottom of your pairings, and this could be great. Chris Tanev for Tyler Myers, everybody. If Tyler Myers ends up getting, let's just say, waived sometime in the next few months, and he ends up not re-signing in Vancouver, because what incentive would the Canucks have to keep him, and they end up bringing a guy like Tanev to replace those minutes, that becomes the ultimate win-win scenario. You know, the team has been good this season. They've been very good. I don't want to say overachieved, but everything that could be going right is sort of going right at the moment. So take this mojo, take this swagger, add on a guy like Chris Tanev, who has been such a beloved NHL player the past few years, and that sounds like a really great winning formula. At least to me it does. You know, we already talked about the idea of Connor Garland getting traded for Chris Tanev, but I'm not going to shut up about this, because Tanev was such a good player, and if he's able to find himself back in the Vancouver one way or another, I'd be a very happy camper, and I'm sure a lot of y'all in the comment section would feel the same way as well. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of Tyler Myers getting waived and the Vancouver Canucks going after Chris Tanev in free agency next year? Do you think this is an appropriate move? Would you like to see it? Would you not like to see it? How do you feel about Myers getting waived? Does that send a bad message, a bad precedence throughout the NHL? Or does it enforce the idea that says, hey, if you suck, you suck, you're out of here, buddy. Who cares if you're making $6 million? We're going to send you down because you're not worth the money. Also, big questions going out there. If Tyler Myers gets waived, if he ends up getting sent down, who replaces those minutes? Do you bring up a Cole McWard? Do you try to force a guy like Irwin or Cole to play in their offside? Do you bring up Jet Wu? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.